Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am your host, June Archer. You are now inside the winner circle. Today, I have a very special guest. I'm super excited to speak to this young man. He's a very successful entrepreneur, millions of followers. His story of living the American dream is one that I know that you'll fall in love with. He actually had the opportunity to come to the United States, immigrating from Israel with only $400 in his pocket, and turn that into an empire. I promise you, you're going to enjoy what we have to talk about today. Please welcome to the stream, Antonio Sustiel. Antonio, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you, sir?
I'm so excited to have this opportunity to interview you. Let me just start by asking you, how have you been doing over the past couple of years, especially with the pandemic, and how is your family doing?
I am doing fine. Thank you so much. We're doing very well. Everybody's healthy, first of all, the most important thing. And we're doing really well. We just appreciate life a lot better now the last couple of years than we did before.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that I pride that on, and I know you agree with me, is just when you wake up, just lead with gratitude.
Absolutely.
With gratitude. I want to start from the top, Antonio, if you will allow me. You migrated from Israel. A lot of people don't understand the sacrifice that is made, the perspective of what it means to leave what you know is near and dear to you, what is comfortable, what you know and love, for the unknown. Talk to me about migrating to the United States from Israel.
Very scary at the beginning. When you leave a country, you leave the language, you leave the culture, you leave your family. You leave a lot of fundamentals that we grew up as little kids, and you're going to the unknown, and you're flying to a completely different country, no language. In my case, I didn't even have paperwork. I was just visiting a family member. I just came to visit. Definitely no any business skills. You don't know what the value of anything. And to land here and to look around and to start figure things out is like reborn again. And to start a new life in a completely different country with a different language, with a different culture, it's close to impossible. If you really put it on paper and you say, I'm going to go to a different space and start anything new, the odds are that you're not going to make it because the odds are against you in every platform. So it was very difficult at the beginning.
Now, what was the reason for leaving the United States?
I came to visit the United States when I was 12 years old. My brother lived in Miami, so I used to come and visit him a couple times a year. And I fell in love in Miami. I fell in love in the US. I fell in love in the culture, the people, the system. And I wasn't crazy about my country. My country had a lot of conflicts, a lot of politics, a lot of violence, a lot of stuff that I didn't agree to all that. I'm a peace and love guy. I didn't know it as a little kid, but now I know why I left. But many years ago, I just didn't accept the fact that people still arguing and fighting and having all this conflict. And I'm like, this is not a platform for me. I want to live a peaceful life. And Miami Beach, I don't know if you've been in Miami Beach or not. It's all palm trees and ocean. So it was a beautiful life, super peaceful, very island living, very laid back and relaxed. So for me, it was heaven. I'm like, this is how I want to live. This is where I want to be. And if I have the chance to somehow come to this country, I'll do anything in my power to somehow succeed. And that was the reason. And I left the country when I was 22 years old. So I came back and forth, continuing visiting. I served the army in Israel. I was in the military for many years. I've been through 2 wars in the 80s. So a war and after that, another war. And I saw all the things that I don't want to live like. I saw all the things that I did not agree to nothing. But when you're a soldier and you're 18 years old, all you do is you take commands from higher level. You just do what people tell you to do, especially military. It's very strict. But I didn't agree to anything. And believe it or not, the day after I finished the military, I took the first plane. I came to visit again, and I never went back. And people kept asking me, how come you've been in the military, very, protecting the country? I said, I did it because I had to. When you're born in Israel, you have to serve the military. Everybody served the military. But I left because I do not agree to any platform of violence whatsoever in the world, and definitely my platform. So for me, it was a dream to come here, but it was super difficult the first few years.
What do you say, Antonio, to the person who's in Israel who feels like they can't make it out, but they need to find something different, but they're afraid to make that move because of all the things that you said? You're leaving behind your culture, your food, your music, your mores, everything that you've grown up with up to that point. What do you say to that person who the fear to move forward is a real thing for them?
Take a chance. You know, life is short. Life is very long, but also very short at the same time.
Yeah.
I would say take a chance, pack your stuff, gamble with your life, because it's going to end up paying. If you're not living in a space that you're happy with, and you're living in a space of violence, this is 2023. This is not 1940. This is 2023. You have choices. You can move anywhere. But if you like to argue and fight, stay where you're at. You belong there. But if you really want to have a better future for your life, for new generations, for kids, especially for kids, don't be scared to make a move. First move is always, you know, it's like playing baseball. I kept telling people, if you play first base, if you're not going to leave first base and run for second, you're always going to stay on first base. You have to take a chance at some point and run for second. 50-50, you're going to make it. I don't promise anybody success. But if you're determined and if you have the willpower and the right energy and the right positive mental attitude, and if you have the right mindset, go for it. Something good's going to happen.
I want to talk about that combination, Antonio. For you, $400 in your pocket, you started a perfume company, and now you're doing flooring. Take us back to those days that you remember starting out with that perfume. What was the inspiration behind that? What were you thinking about when you first created that product?
So I landed in Fort Lauderdale about 30-something years ago with $400 in my pocket. I didn't have any car, no language, no place to stay. The ads were against me. So if you really, as I mentioned before, if you put it on paper, I'm 100% never going to succeed. I mean, I barely speak the language. I don't have a vehicle to even move around. Nobody's going to hire me. I don't know what to do. It's not that I finished school when I was 12 years old, so I don't even have education to go get a job as a banker or just do anything. I just didn't have any education. But I remember the days that I used to come visit my brother. My brother used to go to the flea market right here in Opaloka, in Miami, in the late 70s, when all the Haitians were coming from Haiti. It was the booming time of Miami. They came from Haiti. They needed anything and everything. They had nothing. So I remember getting along with the Haitian people so well at the flea market. Plus, it was a fiesta of happiness to be in the flea market. I mean, not everybody likes it, but you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You stay there till 6 o'clock at night. All you do is tell jokes, laugh. You're negotiating $1, $5, $4. So I used to love the street. I got along really, really well with the street. Today, by the way, Haitians are my best people. I love Haitians. They know how much love I got for them. I know I'm off the topic, but I donate a lot to Haiti. I got a lot of love to Haiti.
Beautiful.
They had kind of helped me before. But back to the original story is that I landed with $400 and I had no papers, so I didn't even had a chance to start a business. So I bought $300 from the $400 I had. I bought perfumes. I rented a car for $25 and I went to the flea market. I rented a canopy. Back in the day, you can rent a canopy in a flea market. Today, people buy them at Home Depot for $50. Back then, you can rent a canopy for $30 a day. Miami in July is probably 80 or 90 degrees hot. It's super hot. Being under this canopy from 5:30 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, I remember days losing 3 and 4 pounds. That's how much hard it is. But you know what? I was free. I was selling $100 and $50. I will go with my first 300. I'll come back home with 350. The next weekend I come home with 450, and literally build that $400 to $1,000 to $1,500. Now I'm not spending money. I'm just reinvesting back to buy more perfumes and more perfumes. A year later, I got a couple $1,000. Now I buy me a car for $1,000. I paid the price. I started with nothing, zero. Eating a Burger King at 5:30 in the morning, sleeping in the car a couple times, going as military. I used to wake up super early in the morning. So for me, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning I was ahead of the whole world because I knew how to grind super hard. The next thing you know, a cousin of mine offered me a store in downtown Miami. Say, hey, we got a store. We're going out of business. Maybe you have you want to rent the store from me? I took a chance. I took a $30,000 loan from him, and I said, hey, lend me the money. Give me 1 year, and I promise you, I will pay you back the money. Every single dollar comes to me at the end of every day. I'll give you if it's $100 or $500. But believe in me, because I had the training also for military not to give up. So for me to fall and give up was not an option. I had this winners never quit, quitters never win attitude. And I went all in. I went all in with my success. I knew that going back to Israel was not going to be an option. I burned the bridges. I told my family I love them to death. I'm never coming back. And the rest is history.
Wow. It just seems, Antonio, that just that military experience, and not that everyone needs that because everyone's not built for that either, but to have that perspective of I have to win. I can't quit, right? You just said it. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. And believing in yourself is what I'm getting at is the common thread in your stories is really betting on yourself and never giving up. And you took that perfume business and created even bigger opportunities for yourself. I want to talk about that.
So from the perfume business, I start getting confidence. The beginning of the problem with every success, and today I can call myself a successful businessman, but before, the beginning of every journey is really to just start understanding what are you selling and how you're doing and all this. So your confidence level on a barometric scale, I will say, is probably from 1 to 100 is 30. You don't have a lot of confidence. Remember, I don't speak the language well. And when you negotiate, you have to make sense of what you're selling, how you're selling. You have to get also the people that buy stuff or merchandise or service. You have to get them confident of giving you their money. So for me, the confidence level was very, very low at the beginning. I built myself a confidence. When 8 years into the perfume business, I had a buyer from Venezuela that came and offered me a good amount of chunk of money. They needed to migrate from Venezuela to Miami. My stores were in downtown Miami, so I was exposed to South America very well. I sold my business for $3 million. That was being in the business literally 4 years. So I was very, very young. I was 31 years old when I sold my first business. Now I hired an attorney to start being legal, pay taxes. I started getting into the system, and the system loved me. My brother helped me because he was an American citizen, so I started getting the citizenship. And from the perfume business, I had a friend that mentioned to me something about flooring. And they said that they have a few containers of flooring that they need to export to South America. Do I know anybody in South America? And it's almost like God loves me because all my people was only in South America. I didn't know too much people over here. I approached a couple of my guys in South America, sold them a couple containers of flooring. Now I'm making bigger money. And from literally a few containers, I start approaching the same people and manufacturer in the US and say, hey, my name is Antonio. I have cash. I'm ready to buy. What do you have? Some legworks. And I remember driving to Barnwell, South Carolina. Barnwell, South Carolina is a very, very small town in South Carolina. is 100 miles west on I-95. The town is literally like from the 1700s. Nothing changed in Barnwell, South Carolina. And I started buying flooring from them. And that was 18 years ago. And today our business is one of the largest, if not the largest flooring company in the world.
And that's why they call you Flooring King, Antonio. They call you Flooring King. I want to ask you this. There are many people who, especially since the pandemic has happened, have found, man, what do I want to do next? You know, what is there for me? A lot of people want to start businesses. They want to write books. They want to do something different than what they currently know and what they've currently done. For that entrepreneur who's looking to take that first step, what is the one thing that you've learned along this journey that you could give them as a key to success? We already talked about not giving up. We talked about believing yourself, betting on yourself. But what is the one thing that you might have been told that you hold near and dear to you now as an entrepreneur of 30 plus years that you would say to the young man or young woman who's looking to get into their first business and they are scared to the umph, like they have the money to do it, right? And then there are those who don't have the money to do it. What is the key thing or the key to success that you could tell that person today?
The most important thing is to have a plan. So if I was a young entrepreneur right now and I want to start any kind of business, first of all, you have to have a plan. You have to write down what is it that you really love to do? What is it that you really want to do? What area of business you want to get into, if it's a service or if it's a product. So you have to be clear with your mind. What is it that you really, really want to do? Because the majority of people that not succeeding, I study this a lot now, is because they keep jumping from one item to another. So one week they want to be musicians. The next week they want to do an art store. And then the next week they want to learn how to dance. The following week they want to be a merchant and sell shoes. I would say, first of all, be clear with yourself. Write it on a piece of paper, because if you don't write it on a piece of paper, you're not going to see it. A thought is something that comes and goes. Then you have a few family members that you sit, you drink a glass of wine together, and then all have an opinion. How is it a good idea for you not to do what you want to do? So
Right.
never get any opinion from any friends or family, even close people to you. It can be even a wife or your son or your cousin or your brother or your best friend. Don't share too much of your idea, because innocently we're sharing because we want other people to get excited about what we're going to do next. But they always have 5 different opinions because they're not doing well, why you should not do well. And they're going to tell you, listen, the economy is not the right time. Interest rates are going up. Business are failing. Economy is no good. Anything you want to hear for you not to succeed. So keep your ideas for yourself. Close your mouth. Have a plan. Write it on a piece of paper. Go to sleep with that paper. Wake up in the morning. Keep it in your pocket and continue first to understand where you want to go. It's almost like having a ship on a harbor that wants to go from here to Italy. And there's no way that ship will ever make to Italy unless they have a plan. The captain knows exactly where he starts and he knows exactly where he's going to end. And 10 out of 10, he's going to leave the harbor and end up in the other harbor because he had a plan. But if you leave the ship without a plan, that ship will never going to end up in the other side. That's 1. 2, you have to believe in yourself. I know we said in some point we talked about believing in yourself, but self-confidence is very, very important. You have to understand that we have one life, and if you don't take that chance, and if you don't literally make the first step and start walking towards the light at the end of the tunnel, you're always going to stay where you're at. So you have to continue with your plan. Number 3, which is the most important thing, is I would say, is to really understand that failing is part of the success. So even if you have a plan to go somewhere and you start failing and it's not working, that's part of the growth. So you need to understand that when you are failing, you're actually learning. And when you're learning, you understand what not to do the next time.
Wow.
And for that reason,
Hold on, Antonio. Say that again about failing. Say it one more time, because a lot of people feel like I failed, I tried it, I'm done. I failed, I tried it, I don't want to do it anymore. This is not for me. Please repeat that again for the people who didn't hear it and the people that don't understand what failure is.
Actually, I highly recommend for anybody listening to us right now that they should start a new business, and I highly recommend them to fail the first few times, because the failure is actually, I'm going to sign on it, that if you fail 4 or 5 times, you're going to succeed. You need to continue grinding, and you need to continue understanding that failing is part of the success. Don't be shy to fail. Don't be shy to admit that you fail. And all you need to do is write a different plan to the same execution of business with a much better, higher understanding of what didn't work. When you run out of things that doesn't work, that's when you're going to start succeeding. But failure is a 100% the key to success, because if you're not failing now, you're going to fail later on. And if you fail later on while you're succeeding, the fail can be crucial. So failing is good. Start something. Don't be shy to fail. Snug yourself up. Stand stronger, and you're gonna be fine. You know, falling is good. Continue grinding. Never give up. Failing is good.
Antonio, one of the things I tell people all the time, because they'll see the success. They'll see that you're doing well. They'll see that you look good. Whatever you drive may look good. Where you live looks good. But they don't understand that there is a journey that had to be walked, right?
Exactly.
For you, what has been an obstacle that allowed you in that moment when you failed, or it was just a hiccup, it was just a bump in the road, just an obstacle that allowed you to say to yourself, man, I am doing the right thing, and this is what I learned from it? What was one obstacle that you could share with those who are watching or listening today that gave you the opportunity to learn?
I would say that I failed the first few days. So the first few days, going back to the beginning of the perfume business and the flea market, the first few days, I got a car, I got the perfume, I got the canopy, I got the plan. I know how to sell a little bit, so my broken English. I stood up at 5:30 in the morning. It was raining. Miami is funny. It gets rain and then it stops and it rains. It's a very subtropical weather. So I'm now at 10:30 in the morning. No one comes. The flea market is empty. And at the end of the day, I've been on my feet for 15 hours from the minute I woke up to the minute I went to sleep, and I sold $10. So the first day I came home, after me being Mr. Entrepreneur selling perfumes, I came home with $10. It cost me $15 to get there and come back, and $20. So I lost money. And imagine you came from another country. You don't have the money. You don't have the language. You don't have friends or family to even complain about it. And you come home with no money. So that was a disaster. It was not a frame. My state of mind was absolutely, this is what's going to happen from now on. This is not a good business. No one bought my product. What am I going to do? I don't have even money to get rid of what I bought to start something else. But you know what? You go to sleep, you pray, you wake up the next morning, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you put your clothes again, same clothes as yesterday. You go back to the flea market, and you know what? The sign is shining again. Now I went home with $60, and I'm like, the loss from yesterday. So that was a huge fail. I could have taken both ways. I could have give up and say, hey, that's not for me. It's not going to work. 15 hours been wasted. Or I can go and grind again. So failing, I've been in business now for almost 25 years, and I can tell you that I had a lot of failures, way more failures than success the first 5 years. But that's part of the game, part of success, or part of anything in life, not even money, is not to give up and believe in yourself, because not 2 days are equal. Every day is different. You wake up every morning, and you should just be blessed to wake up and continue grinding. You're going to be fine.
Now, people would argue what it means to be successful. So I want to ask you, this has been something I've been asking a lot of people. What do you deem success? Is it money? Is it actually seeing something from beginning to end? Like you said, if you write it down on the paper and you see it and it comes to fruition, is that success? Is it buying things that money can can allow you to get? What is success to you, and what should people look forward to as a barometer for success?
Success is when you can help your friends and family. Success is when you're giving back to the community. Success is when you help a lot. A lot of people are not doing well. There's a lot more people in the world that are not doing well than people that are doing well. When you succeed, if it's financially or if it's you becoming an entrepreneur, you're becoming famous, or depend what success look like in your book. Unless you understand that success is really helping others and donating money and lifting people down. And even what we're doing now at the podcast is we are basically trying to educate young people or older crowd that doesn't understand what success. And for them, success is driving a nice car, living in a nice house, or eat a good steak. That's very, very wrong. Success is when you have enough substantial amount of funds to lift the people around you. How many friends and family around us that are not doing well do we have as friends? Success is when you're helping them. Success is when you can help someone else. Success is not how much money you got. And also, success is when you believed in yourself at the beginning and you end up doing what you said. So say what you do what you say. That's success. Success doesn't measure in money whatsoever, in my opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the Flooring King himself. $400 in his pocket. Went from an entrepreneur in the flea market in Miami, selling perfume, to becoming the leading person. It's in his title, the Flooring King, Aqua Flooring, and having the opportunity to help his community, lift up family and friends as success. And some of the takeaways that I got today was never giving up on yourself. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. If you're going to bet on anybody, bet on yourself, but also put on the horse blinders. Don't allow people. Antonio said it. When you share your dreams and goals and aspirations with people, if they're not trying to do what you're doing, if they don't see the dream that you see, because it was given to you, it wasn't given to them, so they may not believe in it. And they're going to, at every turn, Antonio said, they're going to discourage you because they don't believe that they can do it. So they're going to put that on you. You have to be mindful of who you surround yourself with. This is called the winner's circle. So make sure that those that are in your circle, those that are in your village, family and friends alike, understand that when you have a goal, all you have to do is just be supportive. That's it. Antonio, any last words? Because this was amazing. I want to wish you tremendous success, even more, 10 times more, that you can continue to give back to Haiti, because I know that is an island that continues to be under the thumb of everything that happens. And we continue to pray for them and what is going on with them over there, but also the surrounding communities in Miami. There are people here in the United States that still need help. And we have a homeless population, or they say unhoused, that need our help. So the more successful we are, the more that we can help. How can we follow you? How can we like what you're doing? And how can those who are looking for flooring get in touch with you?
So flooringking.com is my website. First, before I'm pushing my business on the podcast, I want to say one thing about homelessness. You touched something really, I kept it for me. Downtown Miami 30 years ago was a place that was a lot. I lived in LA and I lived in downtown, a lot of homelessness. I developed love. We have Camila House over here, and I developed a lot of love to the homelessness. And for whatever reason, I don't know, it's because I never had schooling or the flea market, homelessness became something that touched me really hard. Every morning when I used to go to my stores in downtown Miami, I used to stop and I used to get food, go under the bridge in downtown Miami, driving a nice car, and start giving money to the homelesses and giving food to the homelesses. And I believe that I've been blessed ever since, because I saw what the bottom of the bottom of the bottom look like. And if you have love to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of human being, and you understand that you're lucky enough to walk, to talk, to negotiate, to make a couple dollars, to be healthy, And they're no different than us. They look like us, they walk like us, they talk like us. It's just that they never made it for whatever reason. That their journey was not to make it this lifetime. Our job is to support them and to help them. And if you're successful and you understand that, never forget where you came from, and never forget that the people around us are, we all one. We all one, and we need to love each other. And if you're successful and you can touch these people's hearts, my best friends today are all homeless. And if you can be successful and you have a bunch of homeless as friends, then you can call yourself successful. Couple dollars in the pocket doesn't mean you're a different person. Love to humanity and to society. That's what's going to get you way further, because there's a higher level that controls us anyway. So peace and love to everybody, brother.
I believe that. Lead with humanity. We talked about it at the top of the show. When you wake up, lead with gratitude. But during the journey, lead with humanity.
Exactly.
Where can we like you? Where can we follow you? How can people get in touch with you if they're looking for Aqua Flooring?
Antonio Sustiel, the Flooring King, is on Instagram. FlooringKing.com is my business. Just, I'm just a simple guy. They can find me. I mean, I just want to help people. So that's it. I mean, love you guys.
Antonio, I can't thank you enough for such a great opportunity to speak with you and get to know you. I look forward to getting to know you more and helping whatever cause it is that we can help with our young people and the homeless. I hope we have the opportunity to work together to make that happen. Continued success to you. Love to you and your family. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As I always like to end my show, never leave the opportunity undone to tell somebody that you love them. It may be the last opportunity that you have to do so. Antonio, I love you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Antonio Sustiel. I'm your host, June Archer. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Peace.
Thank you, brother. God bless you. Keep in touch with me. If you come to Miami, I would love to meet with you so we can do dinner together.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much.